In all my time of producing, making beats, making instrumentals, I've collected a fair bit of musical gear and instruments and musical doodads and trinkets and whatnot, whether it's little stuff like this, or even just good old-fashioned instruments like these. And all of my music gear works pretty well for me, but I was curious about what other people think about the gear that I have. So today we're going to be looking up the worst rated reviews for some of the musical products that I own. So the first piece of music gear that I want to start off with is this little pocket operator. It's a very cool, fun little toy to kind of mess around with, but it doesn't have a whole lot of real useful application, at least for me when I'm making music, but let's see what some other people say. Very good, very nice, very good, very nice. From M, not a toy. Beautiful, not a toy, in all caps. We need 1-star reviews. Why am I not getting any 1-star reviews? All right, so we got a 1-star here from Disappointed Musician. Very fitting. I strongly recommend against purchasing this product. I received a PO33 as a gift, and I am disappointed beyond words. It seems like this guy does have a few words to say, so maybe that's not true. The layout is completely unintuitive. The manual is a single slip of paper with instructions that are incomplete at best, and the build quality is shamefully flimsy. There's a couple things that I do agree with. The manual is not helpful at all. If you get a pocket operator, you really need to watch a couple YouTube videos to actually learn how to use it. It kind of feels like when you input a cheat code in a video game and you have to press different combinations of buttons to get it to do the thing you want. That's kind of how the pocket operator is. The build quality though, I would not say is flimsy, even though it is thin. Like clearly you can see it's paper thin, but this thing, not bending. Imagine I just snapped it in half right there. And all of the 1-star reviews on Amazon are just complaining about how the seller is just like some third-party seller. So definitely if you're gonna buy one from Teenage Engineering themselves. I'm actually really curious if I can find any bad reviews at all for this shaker, because I don't really know why anybody would write a bad review for a shaker, because it's just a shaker. This guy gave it a 1-star review and said these shakers are held together with rubber bands and do not interlock. That is true actually. It's technically 2 separate shakers here and they kind of, you know, move around a little bit. This guy says, it would probably be fine, but the shaker I received has something large inside, like a pebble or something. I can hear it rattling around inside, and it completely ruins the soft shake sound that I wanted. I could just imagine the people at the factory, and they're like, dude, wouldn't it be so funny if we just threw like a rock inside of one of these? This guy says, I use this for church during worship. During service, it broke right in the center, and the beads from inside went everywhere. How hard are you gripping the shaker? To my knowledge, LP has very good quality products, so it makes me wonder if this was a knockoff or just bad production. Or you just gotta chill, dude. There's no way you should be playing the shaker that hard to where you snap it in half. There's actually so many reviews of people saying that the shakers just broke in half while they were using it. This person says literally broke in half the first time I used them. Really disappointing. The sound was good for 30 seconds and then it just snapped in half. Well, clearly I have never had that problem. It literally just popped right in half for this guy. Didn't even make it home. Most of those reviews are really old, like 2015, 2014. So yeah, I would say that they've probably fixed that problem by now because I don't see any people complaining about that now. All right, next up we have these Tascam TH200X headphones. I actually got these on sale at Guitar Center just randomly one time because they were on sale and I just needed a second pair of headphones. But I know there's going to be some bad reviews for these because I'm not a huge fan of them. They don't really have a very flat profile on the sound. I only use them for just like random stuff here and there. So let's see what people have to say about them. Rick says, poor sound quality. I picked these up because it's good to have a low-cost pair of headphones when needed. Unfortunately, the sound quality is lousy. They're all bass, poor mids, and no highs. I have Sony, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. I actually do agree with this. The bass is super boosted on these, and the other sound is just really not that amazing. But literally, as he said in the first sentence, it's good to have a low-cost pair of headphones. That's like the whole point. They're not supposed to really sound amazing or anything. Chairman gives it a 1-star, says, I would not buy nor recommend this product. Plug them into my computer, they wouldn't work. That's how my jacket got bad on. Chairman's review was really not very good. He said that they just stopped working after like several months of not using them. I don't know. Sometimes when people leave reviews like that, it's like, do you really know what you're doing? Maybe you just messed something up. Maybe you know spilled some Pepsi on your headphones or whatever, and that's why they don't work. You never really know. Rob here makes a bold claim. Worst headphones. Gave mine away. Honestly, I don't know if you've ever used the headphones that they give you in the computer lab when you're in elementary school. Those are pretty bad. I don't want to be harsh, but the designers, makers, retailers must not ever do a listening test before they march this junk out as studio headphones. I can't think of a sarcastic comment to relay what studio they actually belong in. Nope, false alarm. Just thought of one that works. Perhaps a studio apartment occupied by those without hearing. Burn. They just got frickin' burned, dude. Nice one. Next up here we have The Behringer XM8500. If you want to watch a video that I did about this microphone, this microphone right here comes in at a pretty surprising price tag of 20 buckaroons. I've had pretty good experiences with it. It's a nice, pretty clear sounding microphone. It's not the most incredible quality ever. It's not like a Neumann or something, but you're paying 20 bucks. I think there's kind of a curve when it comes to people reviewing products. It's like the more money that they spend, the higher the expectations are for the product, and the less money they spend, the higher the reviews are going to be because the expectations are like down here. But it makes sense because you're kind of rating it based on the money that you pay for it. Was it worth it? Yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. The A-Train. Nice. This guy calls himself the A-Train. This guy's over here writing Amazon reviews like it's his full-time job. So I set it up with some extra tweaking after I found it only records in mono. This guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, or at least he doesn't really know that much about audio in general. My microphone only records in mono. Yeah, dude, it's one signal. The microphone is one signal. I bought this in 2018, but I kept playing with it sporadically over the last couple of years. This is a $20 microphone. You spent years trying to figure out how to use it? Take a look at this thing. Tell me if this looks complicated to you. Does this look like a complicated microphone? It's just a stick with a ball on it. This review is this guy just complaining about the fact that he didn't read beforehand that it doesn't come with a mic cable. So he had to drive an hour away to get a mic cable. And then the mic cable was broken, so he had to drive another hour away. First of all, you ordered the microphone off Amazon. Just order another cable off Amazon. Just order it with overnight shipping or whatever. That thing will be there 7 a.m. sharp the next morning. Also, I really don't think it warrants a 1-star review. The fact that you live in an area where you have to drive 4 hours away to get to a guitar center. It's like, okay, sir, would you like to review the microphone now? Or are you just going to keep complaining about the fact that there was no cable? Nothing fit together correctly. It returned immediately. Again, there's 2 sections, 2 pieces, microphone and cable. What else do you need to fit together? This thing is not like an IKEA bookshelf. There is really no assembly required. It is assembled already. If the assembly process of you plugging in a microphone cable to a microphone is that hard for you, you need to find something else to do. You might need to take up a different hobby because we're talking a pretty basic skill here. Everybody just keeps complaining about the cables. Just read the thing. I could figure that out in 5 seconds. Look, go to the product page. Oh, wow, this is what you get. A little clip thing, you get a little box for it, and you get the microphone. Next up here. So this is the guitar that I use most of the time. This is a Yamaha Pacifica. I don't exactly know what like model or whatever this is. I don't know, but it's a Yamaha Pacifica. For me, it's always been super reliable. I've never really had any problems with it, but let's see what other people have to say about it. So we're obviously not going to find my exact model of guitar because it's a little bit older now, but we can at least see what people are saying about the new ones, and they are relatively similar. As you can see, it looks like they changed the body shape a little bit, but otherwise it looks pretty much like the one I have, except for it's blue. Frets were sharp and cut my fingers a bunch. That's so mean. This is one thing that I'll say though. So when you buy a cheaper guitar, this is one of the things that a lot of people will complain about. The frets going along here and along the bottom as well, down here, a lot of times will be pretty sharp because of, you know, quality control. It's just not something they're worried about. So what you can actually do is just put like some painter's tape over the wooden part so you don't scratch it up. And then you can just file down the frets so that they're not as sharp. And that'll help it play a lot better so you're not, you know, cutting your little fingies when you're playing. But that's a really common problem with a lot of cheaper guitars actually. This guy just leaves a 1-star review and says, boat anchor. 5 months in and the electronics have died. No return policy from Amazon. Basically at this point, it is a boat anchor or firewood. A couple things to think about when you purchase any guitar. If you're buying the guitar online and getting it shipped to you, you want to give them the special request to loosen all the strings before they send it to you. The reason you do this is because if those strings are tight and have the tension on the guitar the whole time while it's getting shipped, the box is just rolling around in some crate on some boat going across the Pacific Ocean or whatever. The tension on the guitar is gonna cause things to break and snap or crack or whatever it may be. Snap, crackle, and pop. And also, don't be afraid to play around with your guitar and learn how to set it up yourself. A lot of people are like, dude, you gotta be careful because you're gonna break the truss rod or you're gonna break this thing or that thing. I know it can be scary to mess around with your guitars and, you know, fix them up yourself and stuff, but you gotta learn eventually at some point. It's a good skill to have. But if you are scared to mess with the intonation and the truss rod and all that kind of stuff on your guitar, just take that sucker to a guitar center and they'll fix it up for you real quick. When you get your guitar set up properly, it just ensures that everything runs smoothly and works properly, and that's what you want out of a guitar. Okay, next up we have my audio interface. So my audio interface is definitely a cheaper one for sure, and it's the Behringer UMC 1820 or something. Yeah, the Behringer UMC 1820 is what it's called. There's a couple little weird things that I've experienced with it. Some of the audio at certain points kind of messes up, and I'm not actually sure if that's my computer, the microphone I'm using, the cable I'm using, but also some of the buttons and controls and stuff on it are a little bit weird. But overall, I like it. It's a good cheap interface that you can plug a lot of mics and guitar cables and stuff into. But let's see what other people have to say. I've never had a problem with Behringer stuff. I own lots of it. Usually works great despite the reputation. Okay, quick side note. The reputation that Behringer gets is not because they make bad products, it's that they copy other people's products and make them pretty much just as good as anybody else can make them. Just cheaper with a lot more plastic, and they don't look as cool. Oh my god, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and read your New York Times bestseller that you wrote under the Behringer UMC 1820 Amazon page. Okay, next up here. Want to see if I can find some bad reviews for this Tambourine. My first thought is there's no way people are leaving bad reviews for a Tambourine, but then again, that's what I thought about the shaker too. But we had people's shakers completely snapping in half during their, church practice or whatever. Oh, let's go. This is exactly the one I have. 2 ratings? What? And they're both 5-star. Nobody's hating on the Tambourine, dude. I guess that's a good thing. I don't think there's reviews. I don't even know what website this is. Who is Hal Leonard? Doesn't seem like there's anybody leaving bad reviews for this thing. This Tambourine is unanimously just the best piece of music gear that I own. Well, now I have a newfound respect for this Tambourine because this is top of the line stuff, apparently. Okay, I was going to end on that, but there's actually one thing that I want to look up also because I know there's going to be a ton of bad reviews for it. Microphone stand. The worst microphone stand ever. Musician's gear. It's called Musician's Gear. Nice. That's a real creative name. Musician's Gear. Musician's Gear, huh? Where'd you come up with that one? Where'd you get the idea for that, huh? Musician's Gear. No shot this has more than a 3-star rating. 4.1? Dude, get out of here. This thing is, it's not good, okay? I guess I didn't give my review on it, but it falls all the time. Even if you put like a tiny little microphone on that mic stand, it'll just start going like this. There's been so many times when I'm trying to record drums, and by the end of it, my SM57 is just on the top of the snare drum. But that's the thing with cheap mic stands. You're not gonna get, like, top-of-the-line stuff here. This microphone stand claims to be adjustable in height. That is not the case. It can only stay at the shortest height. There's no mechanism to hold it in place at any of the other heights. Okay, this one is user error for sure. You know how I know this is user error? Because I did the exact same thing. The way that you adjust this mic stand is you twist this thing right here. You loosen it, and then whoop, goes down like that. I own 2 of these, and I didn't know that until like a few months ago. P. Bradley just says awful. He's got 2 bullet points here. Top mount would rarely stay fixed and kept dipping down. The bottom clamp never did secure properly. Kept opening up even without a mic on it. The weight of the stand itself stripped it. Maybe he means the thing that I just showed you, so not sure. Either way though, these are definitely the most justified bad reviews out of any product here because that microphone stand is just bad quality, but it does what it needs to do. It holds the microphone or whatever, kinda. Once I have $100 million to spend on mic stands, maybe I'll buy some more expensive ones, but for now, this is what we're working with. So yeah, that is pretty much gonna do it for me in this video here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was definitely a fun one to make. It was fun to see kind of what other people think about some of the stuff that I use. Let me know if you guys want me to maybe do another part of this, maybe make it a little series where I talk about all the little doodads and trinkets that I got. Yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys go check out my Instagram and all that other social media stuff down in the description below if you'd like to do that, and I will see you guys next time. San Francisco, she has to